Title: The Mantra Tantras of Sandhya Vandanam Yama Vandanam. Background: we visited the abode of Atma, saluted the characteristics of that Atma: change, self-drive, neutral creation, fast movement, knowledge. Then we saluted all the forces that emanated from Atma. We saluted the one that protects our desire and removes the indignation. Then we did an Abhivadaye to introduce ourselves to the Atman. Then we turned around and looked at the multiple direction of space that emanate from Atman and saluted them. These directions make up the multiple dimensions of space. This Atma, the abundant energy, is the north. This Atman evolves into universe and its intelligence in a controlled way. How does Atman control the universe? It is through the eternal laws of the universe, called the Dharma. The laws of the universe, established by Atman that remain eternal throughout the duration of the universe, are the way by which the Atman controls the evolution of the universe. After saluting the Atma, we return back home by descending to south. Yama, the controller, is the one who implements the laws of universe and manifests in myriad ways, including causing death and dissolution. Yama Vandanam, the mantra part. Yamaya Nama, Yamaya Dharma Rajaya, Mrityuvecha Anathakaya cha, Vaivashwathaya Kalaya Sarvabhutakshayaya cha, Udhumbharaya Dhagnaya Nelaya, Parameshtine, Vrukodharaya Chitraya Chitragupthaya Vainama, Chitragupthaya Vainama, Om Nama, ITHI. Yama control, Yamaya controller. Yamaya Nama, salutations to the controller. Yamaya controller of universe. Dharma Rajaya, implementer of laws of universe. Mrityuveka, death, Antakaya ka, and decay to the end. The universe is controlled by the eternal laws of universe in all the domains: physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, from gravity to speed of light. All the eternal laws of the universe, what we see as eternal, are designed towards the death and decay, to get back to that Atma from where everything originated. Yama, the controller of the universe, is tasked with implementing these laws. Vaivaswathaya, life light, manifests as life light. Kalaya, death, darkness, time, manifests as death, darkness. Sarv Bhutha Kasayayaka, and in which all matter and beings reside. Matter and beings reside in between the manifestation of life, light, and manifestation of death, darkness. Odumbaraya, hidden inside, where the flower is hidden in the fruit, like the Udumbara, where the flower is hidden inside the fruit. Dhagnaya, Daghaya, one that falls short of, reaches up to. Yama, the controller, is hidden inside every matter and being, falling short of the surface, as the flower is hidden in the Udumbara fruit. Nilaya, the blue one. Parameshtine, one that is superior. In the spectrum of colors, the ones above the blue are ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays, which in general are the radiations that ionize. This Yama, the controller, manifests as ionizing radiations above blue, ultraviolet radiations. Vrukodharaya, the one who can tear off anything, science calls radiations that can tear off atoms as ionizing radiation, and these radiations are those above the blue in spectrum. These ionizing radiations, capable of tearing away anything, their navel tears everything, manifest in manifold ways and are hidden in manifold ways inside the matter and beings. Chitraya manifests in manifold ways, Chitraguptaya, hidden in manifold ways. Chitraguptaya Vai Namaha, salutations to only one who is hidden in manifold ways. Chitraguptaya Vai Namaha, Om Namaha ITI, salutations to that which is hidden in manifold ways everywhere in the universe. Salutations to the one that is hidden in manifold ways in the universe. Yama, the controller, is hidden in manifold ways in the universe. The ionizing radiations manifest as chemical reactions that impact metabolism of biological beings. The ionizing radiations manifest as radioactivity causing physical reactions. The ionizing radiation manifests as chemical reactions that forms new chemical elements and compounds. Yama, the ionizing radiation and the clock of universe. Yama, the controller, is the one that implements the laws of the universe, death and dissolution. All matter and beings reside between life and death. Thus, death and time become synonymous. Like the Odumbara that hides its flowers, Yama hides inside every matter and being. Yama manifests as the ionizing radiations that are above blue and that tears up everything. Yama also manifests in various ways in universe: from physical, chemical reactions to biological reactions. Thus Yama, the controller, the ionizing radiation that causes life and death, that hides inside every being, manifests in various ways, is the clock of every matter and being in the universe. Rudra and Yama. There are 11 Rudras and 5 types of Rudras. Ishana, Tat Purusha, Aghora, Vamdev and Sadhyojatas are the 5 types of Rudra. I had mapped Ishana to Higgs, Tat Purusha to force of dark matter on matter, Aghora to strong force, Vamdev to EM force, and Sadhyojatas to set of forces that are born in the immediate vicinity to facilitate evolution. Sadhyojatas are the 7 Rudras that remain, apart from the 4 Rudras mentioned above. They are forces that evolve Karnau, Hriday, Manasa, Chandrama, Zizna, Reta and Apa. I had mapped Karnau to gravitation, Hriday to force that forms the baryons, Manasa to force that forms the nucleons, Chandrama to force that forms the atoms, weak force, Zizna to force that forms the compounds and polymers, force that forms the acidic medium and ribosomes, force that forms the alkaline medium and base pairs of DNA. The Rudras of Sadhyojata give life. The Yama takes it away. If Vamdev Rudra is the originator of the EM force, the left-hand side of the Vamdev is the spectrum covering the visible and below the visible range, which gives life. Yama is the right-hand side of the EM force, the spectrum that is above the visible range, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, etc., the ionizing radiations that take away life. Vamadeva gives by left hand as the Rudra and takes it away by right hand as the Yama. These ionizing radiations cause all the activity of matter. If the weak force builds up atoms, ionizing radiations noose the electrons out. If Rudra manifests in building the protons, neutrons, polymers, ribosomes, DNA pairs, the ionizing radiations knock the protons, neutrons, electrons, chemical elements, and DNA pairs out. When Rudra manifests as the gravitational force, the Yama of ionizing radiation impact the matter that creates the gravitational force, destroying the matter, and thereby the gravitational force. When Rudra manifests as a black hole, then the Yama ionizing radiations probably gets into the black hole with higher and higher energy, and I presume causes dissolution of all matter in the black hole to some primordial matter form by impacting the matter inside the black hole. The whole life of matter and beings is a conflict between Rudras and Yama, as illustrated in the story of Markandeya. But for Yama, Vamdev's side of Rudras would be abundantly giving. Yama takes it away and controls, provides the balance to evolution. Yama and Nachiketa. That is why Yama, as the controller, teaches Nachiketa about the inverted banyan tree. The banyan tree is the tree of the universe, where the root is the Atman Brahman, located deep inside the origins of universe. The forces, chemical elements, biological beings evolve one on another as branches, sprouts and leaves evolve in a tree. We, the intelligent beings, are at the leaf, and if we look upwards at the origins of universe where the root is located, through the forces of physics, chemistry and biology, it is an inverted banyan tree. We evolve in the process of life with the assistance of Rudras, 11 forces, and are taken back to our roots in the process of death by the Yama. Refer my blog on inverted banyan tree here. Less than. Yama manifests as clock. Yama manifests in multiple ways, from ionizing radiations to chemical reactions that cause biological evolution as well as death. The Yama or ionizing radiation can act on the weak force and noose out electrons or nucleons from atoms, thereby causing radioactive decay and death of atoms. The Yama nooses out the phosphate backbone of DNA, RNA base pairs, thereby causing death to cells. According to science, it is the UV radiation that originated the biological clock in living being cells. Thus Yama, Nile Parmeshtain, evolves the biological clock for every cell and hides inside every cell like Odumbara, thus manifesting as the Kala time of that cell. Yama of solar system. While the Yama that we talk about in TSV is the universal controller, solar system has its own control mechanisms and hence its own Yama and Yama Loka. These should not be confused with the Yama that we saw above in the TSV procedure. Sun, Sunny and Yama. For our planet Earth, Sun is the Azitya which triggers life. But the Yama controller ionizing radiations we salute in TSV is the one existed much before Sun evolved. Sun also radiates in the spectrum above blue, ionizing UV, Yama, and below blue, visible Sunny. Sun, according to our mythology, has two suns. One is Sunny, which is low speed or low intellect. Sunny is radiation that is in the visible spectrum. This can be seen from the fact that Sunny is stated to be born to Sun and Chaya, shadow of Sun formed by visible spectrum of Sun. Yama is stated to be the elder brother of Sunny. From this it can be seen, Yama is above the visible spectrum that cause ionizing radiation, which cause life and death in earth. Furthermore, Saranya is said to be the mother of Yama. Saranya means quick-footed, high-speed, etc. Obvious that Yama's mother has to be Saranya, high speed. The Yojana of Yama Loka. Garuda Purana says Yama Loka is at 88,000 Yojanas from the earth, while Surya Loka is said to expand to 100,000 Yojanas. A Yojana is a much disputed distance, as the concept of Yojana for some reason has lost its continuity very early in our civilization. Yojana simply means a distance that can be traveled by an object in one run, a phase or stage, or traveled without stopping or travel in a line. Thus, Yojana by definition is a relative distance and not an absolute distance. The Yojana baseline varies based on the object measured. In Vedas also Yojana is defined in 7 ways. 1. Nara, human Yojana. 2. Bhu, earth Yojana. 3. Bha Yojana. 4. Prakasa Yojana based on distance travelled by light. 5. Dhamma Yojana. 1. Ksara Dhamma. 2. Aksara Dhamma. 6. Atma Yojana based on the core of Sun. 7. Praman Yojana, measure of Lokas higher than solar system, probably 500 times that of Atma Yojana. There seems to be clear but undefined rules for using appropriate Yojanas at appropriate places. I would cover them in some other blog. The Nara Yojana. A Nara Yojana is said to be 4,000 dandas, a danda being a stick equal to 180 to 200 centimeters. It is also stated as equal to 32,000 hands, as one danda is equal to 8 hands. This makes a Yojana a distance from 7,200, 4,180 meters to 8,000 meters, 4,200. Surya Siddhanta says Moon's diameter is 480 Yojanas, which is 3,456 kilometers, 487.2 kilometers. Modern estimates are 3,470 kilometers, the Yojana for Earth's surface measurements, Bhu Yojana. When it comes to measuring large distances on the surface of Earth, Bhu Yojana is used. It is defined as 1,600 parts of diameter of Earth, which translates to 12,800 and 1,600 equals 8 kilometers. It is better to use the 8,000 meters as Bhu Yojana because Earth perceptibly curves around 5 meters for 8,000 meters in an average. Hence, 8,000 meters can be said as a distance that an object can travel in a line, in an average, in planet Earth, though Earth curves continuously, as in a sphere. 8,000 meters is the perceptible distance of curvature. This principle is used in modern satellites, where satellites go around the Earth with a velocity of 8,000 meters per second or more. Earth's gravitational pull attracts them, but since the Earth curves every second for them, they keep going around the Earth, rather than falling onto Earth. Surya Siddhanta says, Earth's diameter is 1,600 Yojanas, which is 12,800 kilometers. Modern estimates are 12,740 kilometers. The Yojana for Sun's surface measurements, Bha Yojana. The core of a Sun is 27 times that of Earth. Hence, a Yojana in Sun would mean 27 times the Yojana of Earth. This comes to 216 kilometers as a Yojana when it comes to measuring distances of Sun's surface. This is called the Bha Yojana. Bha means one that shines. Surya Siddhanta says, Sun's diameter is 6,500 Yojanas, which is 1.4 million kilometers, 6,500-216, approx. Modern estimates are the same. The Yojana for distances between Earth and Sun, Bha Yojana. Surya Siddhanta also says that the orbital circumference of Sun's movement, Earth around the Sun, is 4.33 million Yojanas, 216 kilometers a Yojana as above, which means 953 million kilometers, whose orbital radius roughly translates to 149 million kilometers. Indeed, the average Earth-Sun distance is 150 million kilometers. The reason for using the Bha Yojana is simply that of the two measures involved, Bha Yojana is the greater one. The Yojana for speed of Surya Jyoti Bhu Yojana, the fourth verse of the Rigvedic hymn 150 50th hymn in Book 1 of Rigveda states, Taranir Vishwadarshato Jyotishkridasi Surya Vishwama Bhasi Rochanam, which means, swift and beautiful O Surya, maker of the light illuminating the universe. Commenting on this verse in his Rigvedic commentary, Sayana, who was a minister in the court of the great Vijayanagar Empire, wrote, Tatha ca smaryate yojnanam sahasare dve sete dveca yojne ekena nimishardhena kramaman, which means, it is remembered here that sunlight traverses 202 yojanas in half a nimesa. This has been variously discussed by many people in many places. I interpret it this way. Unmesa and nimesa are two aspects of blinking of eyes. Nimesa is closing of eyelids, and unmesa is opening of eyelids. Closing of eyelids, nimesa takes 50,120 milliseconds, according to modern science. Total blinking of eye takes 400,750 milliseconds, as opening of eyelids, unmesa, takes longer time. Hence, I map nimesa to close to 120 milliseconds. Half a nimesa is 60 milliseconds in which sun travels 2,202 yojanas. The yojana used here is the Nara Yojana or Bhu Yojana, but not the Bha Yojana, as it is about sunlight reaching us or earth and not sun itself. Using Bhu Yojana, 2,202 yojanas become 17,616 kilometers. This translates to 293,000 kilometers per second, which is close to speed of light, the yojanas for Surya Loka. Garuda Purana talks about 88,000 yojanas for Yama Loka and 100,000 yojanas for extent of Surya Loka. This yojana is not about the sun's surface or distance between sun and earth, it is the extent to which the Surya Loka is spread. The yojana used here is the Atma Yojana. Atma for us is the Surya and the Atma of sun is its core. The radius of the core of sun is the distance of Atma Yojana, which is around 15,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,0 outside of core. Thus, Surya Loka has a radius of 150,000 kilometers. The distance between Sun and Earth is 1000 Atma Yojanas, which is 150 million kilometers. This is approximately the modern estimate too, and is called 1 astronomical unit. The solar system, according to modern estimates, spans 100 astronomical units, which is same as what Garuda Purana says. Yama Loka of solar system, HelioSheath. At distance of 80,100 astronomical units from Sun, modern science calls this region HelioSheath. Garuda Purana calls the region from 88 astronomical units as Yama Loka, or the world of controller. This comes just after a turbulent region called termination shock, where the solar winds meet the interstellar winds and create a shock wave. The HelioSheath is also a turbulent region. After the HelioSheath is the heliopause region, where solar winds stop and interstellar space begins. HelioSheath is believed to be sending back solar wind back into solar system, very much like Yama sending back the souls to live on earth again. Garuda Purana says that people who lived righteous life enter Yama Loka from east, direction of sun, solar wind, and Yama sends them back to earth. HelioSheath is also believed to be filtering out the cosmic rays and allowing the guided entry into solar system. Garuda Purana also says that people who followed the divine ways or achieved divinity enter from west, cosmic rays entering from outside, from direction of interstellar space opposite to sun, and Yama sends them to earth. Thus, the HelioSheath is the Yama Loka, or the place which controls the entry and exit of solar system. But that Yama Loka is not the abode of universal Yama that we salute in Sandhya Vandanam. If time permits, I will write about Garuda Purana, the 16 cities on way to Yama Loka, death and travel of soul, offering of pindas, concept of hell and cosmos, etc. TBT.